evening, cult members, and welcome to Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And this is going to be our trailer reaction for Empire of Light. No one else is doing this trailer. I don't care.
It's becoming our shtick.
We're doing at least one of these a week now, where nobody else is doing it. I don't care. It's our channel. We'll do whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
So, I've actually watched this trailer. I want her to watch it. And here we go. Empire of Light. And go.
Film. It's just static frames.
Yeah, he is.
With darkness in between. But there's a little flaw in your optic nerve. So if I run the film at 24 frames per second, it creates an illusion of motion. An illusion of life. So you don't see the darkness. Out there, I just see a beam of light.
Roll credits.
And nothing happens without light.
Okay.
Roger Deakins.
Yeah. You can tell.
You can tell when Roger shows up behind the camera.
Yeah.
Just watch this trailer 6 more times, and that's Roger Deakins to it.
Oh, the second it started, I'm like, wow. Yeah, Roger Deakins is a national treasure. We need to protect him with everything that we have.
It's just a teaser for what's coming. I cheated.
You went and looked up what it's about?
I actually went and read some stuff up, yeah.
I don't think I want to know. I don't know. I have a feeling I'm going to cry. Sam Mendes?
Okay, the things I will talk about was this is Sam Mendes's follow-up to 1913. It's not in the same universe or whatever.
Right.
It's its own thing. And that it's his first time actually writing the script. So he wrote the script. Now, he was the main force behind getting 1917 done, but he wasn't the one who sat down and wrote it. He sat down and said, "This is what I want."
Well, it was based on his
great-grandfather's stories, but he had somebody come in and kind of pin it for him.
Yeah.
And through that process, he kind of got the bug to write, and that's what this is.
Okay.
And it's set in the south of England in the 80s.
In the 80s?
In the 80s, yes. That was also the other thing that I wanted to bring up, is that it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's set in like the 40s or the 50s.
Yeah.
But I double, triple, quadruple checked the south of the UK along the coast, set in the 80s.
I mean, I know, the UK, they were still on rations.
Till the mid-50s.
No, it was later than that. I think it was like the 70s. They were still on rations after the war. The World War II took a huge toll on the UK in a dollar, wise, and so people just lived a little more frugal. And when you're talking about maybe the south of England, not London, where discos and nightclubs and all that's going on, people are a little kind of like the Midwest here.
Yeah. I was going to say, they make the same thing.
Time moves a little slower.
Yeah.
People are a little more
architecture is a little
conservative with their money.
Architecture still, even to this day, you see some of the coastal towns, and it's like, when was this building built? Like you're keeping it up, and it's doing a good job, but you're like, I don't really sure if the brutalistic Russian cosmonaut.
No. What are you?
Communism. It's the other communism architecture really works anymore, but they're not spending
There's
money.
some of that in London itself.
There's some of that at the Tate Modern is that way.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, I think just, yeah. I mean, they're wearing hats, which feels very 50s, right? And then it just feels like maybe there's, a thing about there's an issue with a white woman and a black man, and that feels very 50s as well.
Right,
so,
right.
but we know I know nothing.
Right,
Apparently,
right.
he knows more.
Because I went and read up some stuff on what's going on. Sam Mendes and Roger Deakins working together is always going to be a plus for us.
Go see it in IMAX. Period.
Like
hard stop.
Like
period.
If this is not in IMAX or Dolby, I'm probably going to want to go see it again anyways. Like it's I have caught myself with like Blade Runner 2049 with the sound off.
Yeah.
Just watching the visuals that Denis and Roger Deakins did in that movie.
Yeah.
But when the title of something like this, of Empire of Light, and you bring the god of cinematographers, who is really just a lighting guy who happens to be good behind the camera, and they make a point of showing the lighting, like the flecks of particles in the air from the projector before it hits the glass to go out onto the screen, like stuff like that. I listen to a ton of Roger's podcasts, so I everything that as soon as I saw this is Roger Deakins, and I'm like, now I'm going back in the trailer and I'm like, okay, I understand how he lit that and why he lit it that way and why he wanted this silhouette. And this is and the thing with Sam Mendes is like, I'm thinking this, it's like this, and Roger's like, well, we can light it like this and it'll look like this, and Sam's like, whatever you want to do. I'm cool. Make me look pretty. The third thing, Trent Reznor and Atticus Finch are doing the music for us.
They are. Of course they are.
So
Trent has a third life as a
music composer.
Yeah.
And when he did Social Network, like the world was like, Trent Reznor could do and he got an Oscar for it.
Yeah.
Trent Reznor got an Oscar for freaking a movie score.
Sound design,
and now he's in him and Atticus are in the conversation of Ludwig Göransson and Alan Silvestri and like those guys. Maybe not quite John Williams and Hans Zimmer, but all of them are like really close together.
Yeah, there's John Williams and Hans Zimmer, and then there's Alan Silvestri,
and there's like a half step down, like to everybody else.
Yeah.
But they're in that conversation with those guys, and I could watch this movie with no music, and I'm going to be enthralled outside of the story because I want to see the visuals. Then you add Sam Mendes' direction and the way he directs his actors. And Olivia Colman who's just amazing person and amazing actor.
Yes, she's amazing.
The black gentleman, his name is, I want to say it's Brian Ward.
No,
it's
Michael Ward.
Michael Ward, maybe it's his last name is Ward for sure. He is not known to many of us here in the States.
Yeah, it said BAFTA
award winner.
So that's the UK version of the Oscars.
Yeah. Probably a better version of the Oscars than ours. But I'm getting introduced to somebody who is highly recognized by people outside of the Hollywood system, by a guy who has not been recognized by the Hollywood system, shot by a guy who Hollywood refused to give him an Oscar until he did a blowjob scene in freaking 2049, and Olivia Colman, who everything that she touches right now is golden, and she's going to be in Marvel. So,
well, and I mean, you could argue that I won't say the only reason she absolutely deserved the Oscar that she got, but she rolled through all the awards running up to the Oscars.
Yeah.
So the Oscars, the Academy was already having a lot of issues with looking bad, and if she had not won, it would have been
It's pretty amazing. After we're going to have apparently Oscar talk now, we had Disney Plus in the last trailer reaction. It's amazing. Right after that the Oscars got like 4,000 new members, and they added a bunch of extra characters. But I only saw this out of passing on YouTube this morning.
Yeah.
And now it's one of my most anticipated movies the rest of the year.
So when?
December.
Okay, cool.
Speaking of Oscars.
Right. Yeah.
And I think this is debuting at TIFF. I might be wrong. Or Toronto. It might be Toronto. The Toronto Film Festival. So we will get some buzz about this before we get there. But
isn't that TIFF? What's TIFF?
TIFF is it's the Toronto International Film Festival.
Yeah,
right?
TIFF.
No, what am I thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking of Sundance, the one in Utah.
Yeah.
That's the other one I was thinking of. So yeah, I'm just really interested in what people are going to say with this, and I actually want a full trailer now to kind of get a better understanding what the whole trailer is.
Right, because you know that probably what we saw is not what the movie is actually about.
There's the only dialogue we get is about the homage to film from Toby Jones, and if this whole thing is just a retrospective of how cool movies are on film. Cool. That's not how Roger wants to shoot it, but cool. Like I'm down with that. I tell me a old Hail Caesar, the old Hollywood system, the dream that is making movies. Yeah. Tell me that story with a love story attached.
It could be. Because if it's in the 80s, then it's not. That's not what it is. But it could be kind of the. I can't think of a movie to reference, but like it's actually this couple kind of in different points.
Oh yeah.
In time,
in time, telling their story of their. Yeah, that would be cool. I kind of think the Majestic a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like the old theater kind of coming to its end.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And like showing the heyday of everybody in their suits.
But then she had blood on her hands. And
she had blood in her hands.
So,
and she was in the theater by herself. Here we go! All right. We're going to do a 25-minute dissertation on cinema now and do a deep dive. Where's the rock stars?
We already did.
Let us know what you thought of this trailer and our reaction to it in the comments down below. Like I said, nobody else is going to do this. So thanks for being along this long. Like this. Be nice in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Follow us on all the social media stuff, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Links in the description down below. And until next time, cult members, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.